Hi guys, so today I have a new set to share with you that DiamondPress has brought to HSN. This is the DiamondPress Bundle of Joy stamp and die kit, and sorry about that. And hopefully from the name you will know that it's like a baby set, so let's check this out. So they did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'd make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. Oh, such a nice size. So just looking at this, you know, we have our little storks. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've ever had a set that has storks in it. This is so cute. Yeah, they're like 3¼ inches. I mean, I'm kind of measuring from here to here just to give you an idea. This one's about 3 inches, a little bit smaller than that. And look at this banner. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's open this up. So sweet. I always loved the idea of the whole storks and all that when I was a little kid. Like, that's what we always saw right on TV or cartoons, and oh, how cute, you know. I don't know. It really just stuck with me. So here, a bundle of joy. Look at that. So sweet. And then we have the little bundles of joy here. So cute. And then little stars and cute things, because I think there's a onesie in this. Yes, there's a onesie. There we are. So you can decorate your little onesie if you would like, or you know, however it is. Oh, there's a little clothesline. Oh my gosh, that's a nice size. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Desired cut clothespins to hang onesies up on the string stamp. Oh my goodness. How adorable. Look at these little clippies. And then of course that banner for your suite. It's a boy, it's a girl, welcome to the world, we're expecting a, and then precious little, of course. And then with all the different you know, word dies, we have baby. Oh, awesome. So there are little clouds. I love cloud dies. You can use them later as like stencils, or obviously just pop them in here and there. So they're just always fun to use. Sweet bundle of joy. Those are stamps. Special delivery. Hello, little one, and congratulations. Aw. So, okay, it comes with, of course, the marquee cutting folder. This is the standard size. If you don't have a marquee, no worries. They're thin metal dies. You can put them through any machine that cuts thin metal dies, and you can put any thin metal dies through the marquee that will fit, of course. So, there's that. I want to see this, because this looks like a nice size here, like a slimline kind of size. If you're looking at the stamp from like the edge of the bow to the other edge of the bow, it's like 7¾ inches. So how cute would that be across a whole slimline, and then with your little onesies. And of course the stamps that we discussed. There's our onesie. Let me give you an idea of how big that onesie is. It's about 2⅛ inch tall. And then the little bundles of joy there. So I suppose this would be a little girl, because she has like a little bow in her hair, this one, and then the little boy just has like a little curly hair on top. And then our stamps, and of course all the dies there. Oh, a little moon. And then of course the little bundles. That's the one for the clothespins, and then the word baby, really nice size. Aw. So what I'm gonna do is grab some papers, and I think we'll do a little coloring and a little, you know, layering of like a little scene on a card, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I grabbed a scrap here of marker paper. So I will stamp, I think I want to stamp the stork that's in flight, and then a little baby bundle. And so I'm going to take this guy, and let's try the little girl baby. And let me see, I don't know if I need this, but I'm just going to use a stamp positioner anyway. And leave some edge for the die. So I'm going to put this like this, because I'm not sure exactly where the die is going to need, or how much it's going to need. And we'll put this baby down here. And I'm going to use a hybrid ink. Again, I've just been using hybrid inks, but you can use hybrid inks with water-based markers, or with watercolors, or with alcohol ink markers, so you don't have to think about that. But if you're going to use alcohol ink markers, you want to let that dry completely before you really start coloring. And let's see if I got that. Aww, look at those. So I'm going to let it set up, because I am going to use alcohol ink markers. And in the meantime, What I mean is like let that dry for a little bit. I have just a standard A2 size card base here, which is 5.5 by 8.5 if you're making your own. Well, 5.5 by 4.25, right? If you're making your own, you would cut your paper 5.5, and it's already 8.5 inch if you're using A2 size paper. So you're just cutting it in half, scoring it at 4.25, so that makes your standard A2 size card. And I have this gorgeous paper I recently picked up, so I think I'm going to use this because it's just so soft and sweet. I thought it'd be really cute behind the stork, and then we have our little banner that will put our title. Oh my gosh. You know, I think I'm going to use this one. With the little house. Stork is coming to the house. Alright, let's see here. And I'm just going to cut this down just to mat into this, leaving a very thin edge, so that's just my style preference. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/8. I'm going to cut this top part off of this just right quick. There's like a carrier right there. And then I'm going to cut it at 5 3/8 in this other direction. And I think that will be lovely right on there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and then I'm going to grab the colors I'll need for my alcohol ink coloring, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to put our card base to the side for now, and I'm just going to lay this down because as you use your alcohol ink markers, you want to saturate the paper so much that it goes through to the back, and sometimes it'll go through to my work surface, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm putting down this MyDiamondPress mat here, and I just grabbed several colors from the Mega Marker kit. Let me get a little bit closer here. I'm actually sitting down today. Usually I realized later on, I'm like, I stood up the whole time. Okay, so stork. I'm going to go with gray because usually, you know, in their little feathers they have like black, maybe some gray. So I'm going to go with gray just to make it a little bit lighter. But, you know, you can do whatever you like. And I'm just going to start off with light. Really, they're kind of white in their body and then like darker out here. So I'm going to do this light color and do all the little wings. So I'm just laying down color. You see, I'm not doing anything too fancy. Do they have any down here? Oh, I don't know. In my mind, I just recall that their wings are darker. So anyway, and then I'm going to go into the dark. And yeah, well, I'll use the brush side. I was thinking about using the nib side, but... So I'm going to go into the darkest gray and maybe just add it. As you can see, it's nothing, nothing technical about this. I'm just kind of adding a little here and there. And then we'll take the medium and I'll kind of bring some of that in a little bit more. That way the wings are dark, but they're not like overpowering. It's still a sweet card, you know. So bring in some of that. And then I'll go back to the light color and kind of blend everything back through. And then I'll take that same light, just because the stork is kind of a white color, but that way it doesn't look like you didn't color it, you just didn't think of it, you're just putting a little accent here and there, maybe a little something there. Okay, and that is it for that. And then his little beak, I just grabbed 2 oranges because I don't really need to make all like the 3 layers of the color. So I'm going to use the nib, the bullet nib side. I'm using the light marmalade. I love this orange colorway. I used it for the little fox in one of my recent MyDiamondPress reviews, and it's so cute. Just a pretty color. And then I'll go in with the medium. Add a little bit something. And you can come back and blend it back through, or, you know, however much you like to do. I'm just going to put a little darker there, little dots here and there, and I'll come back with that. And that's what I'm doing for him. And then our little baby girl, I grabbed neutral. This is the color I like to use for skin tones. It depends on what you are looking for, but this one, we have neutral, light, dark, and medium, and it's such a small little face, I might just do the light and medium. We'll see. I'm going to skip over her little hair bow, color that pink in just a minute. light and medium. So baldy, that's so cute. And then back into light. Just kind of blend that back through. And then I do have those colors for the pink. I use rose light. I want to see how light this rose is. Okay. So we can color little cheekies. Give her some little pink cheeks. It's just like a little bit of color I'm just adding there. Okay. And I'm going to take the same one to do her little hair bow. So I'm going in with light right now. All of this. And you know, I only grabbed the 2 colors. I could have brought the darker one too. It's a good sized little bag. Okay, so I'll go into the medium and just add in some shading wherever it is that you want to put the shading, and then of course her little hair bow. And we did this together in real time, guys. I know sometimes I just kind of come back later, but it's very simple. And if you want the little middle area to look like rounded, you kind of leave that a little bit lighter. Hope you can kind of see what I'm saying. It kind of gives it like a look of roundness. Oh my goodness. Let's do her little bow again. And that's it. Okay. And so we're going to cut this guy. And I think, yeah, it's the same little bundle for both of them. So that's the same shape. Now I can see through here. Oh. You know what, before I actually do this, I'm going to take... Oh, so in the picture, you know, there's a lot of gray in the background. I can go on the outside of them with some gray, or I can use like light blue. I'm going to use Ash Light. And you guys know this little trick I like to do just to kind of make the white edges blend away. I'm just going to go around the edges of everything before I cut them out, okay? So I'll be right back. And in the meantime, I also went ahead and grabbed the dies that I'm going to be using. And I want to show you just another trick. I show this pretty often, but sometimes people ask about what I mean when I say the aperture trick. Something we learned a long time ago with dies, especially floral dies, because sometimes it's hard to tell where the edges or where they should go. So just take a scrap of paper, put it down with a little washi or whatever it is that you have, run it through. And sometimes I like to drop shadow things. So if you're thinking about drop shadowing something and that just means like placing a layer behind it, then do that with the drop shadow color that you wanted to use, because now you have your drop shadow piece, and then you have the piece that we need for a tool here. So what I'm going to do is you just pop this back. You know, that's why you made like a little hinge. And you can see through this and see where it is that's going to cut. And like that gives you a lot better idea of what you're going to end up with, instead of just kind of eyeballing it. Sometimes I eyeball, it just depends on the die, and I want to make sure this die cut really well where I wanted it. So we're going to do that. And then I usually tape it down pretty well. So there's a little bit of tape on there, but let's just tape that across there so it's touching the paper, that way it doesn't move. And run it back through. And I also made one for my little bundle. And when we pop this through, I usually don't like putting tape right on my drawing, but I know that tape doesn't stick too bad. So let's say I had cut this out of black just because I want to drop shadow it. Now you have your black piece to drop shadow with, and then the piece that you want, right? Your other piece there. So just an idea. Okay, I'm going to cut the other guy out, and I'll be right back. Okay, and we'll bring these pieces back. So I'm imagining putting him there, holding the little baby girl, and then just with the banner, you know. Oh, a little pink on here. Sometimes the paper will rub off. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, and let's see what we have. Okay, so the banner does have, okay, cool. Actually, maybe I'll do that here, because I was thinking about, am I going to stamp it on white paper? Would that be boring? So what I'm going to do is stamp it on white paper, but I'm going to use this and stamp that in like pink. Do I have pink? I actually do have a pink here. Is that the pink I want? Sure. I have this pink sitting out from the last time I used it. Sorry, I got a little ink on my stamp press. I want to clean that up right now. This scrap of paper is kind of funky, but there we go. Okay, and just a very light pink that I have here. Aww, missed this corner here. I think it's cute. I'm gonna do it one more time just to show you kind of how you can build up color, but that's pretty good. Nice and rich. Okay, and so the next thing, let me clean off this extra ink that I have all over this stamp press, and I'll be right back because I'm just going to go ahead and go into stamping, you know, our little sentiment. Sorry, there's a lot of things around me here. Oh, congratulations, it's a girl. Aw, let's do welcome to the world. Some of them are basically like announcements, like if you were to say, you know, we're expecting a girl or expecting a boy, those kind of things, which is really sweet. And then, of course, just, you know, special delivery, it's a girl, welcome to the world. So it could be used both ways for your own announcement or, you know, whoever you're working cards for, or a congratulatory, you know, card. So that's really sweet. Okay. So I'm going to use VersaFine ink just in black. And I just eyeballed that. I kind of placed it there and figured that was a nice spot for it. Look at that. So beautiful and crisp. Okay, I'm gonna let that set up because VersaFine does need a moment to dry, but I will also take then the banner die and just trim that out. Okay, and so again, I can pretty much see what I'm doing here, so I can see that one really well. It doesn't have a lot of intricate, you know, ins and outs, so I'll just tape that down and run it through, and I'll be right back. Alright. Now we have our little pieces here. Ready to go. Alright, so I think, oh, that's so cute. Yes, we'll give it some texture like that. So I'm going to have to hold it for a second to do that, but I'm just going to put some glue here. Now if you use like a dry adhesive, you can do this real quick, but I'm giving it a little bit of a bump. So of course if you're going to mail this, maybe you want it flatter, but for now I'm going to hold it like this. I'm going to hold that for a second because I'm using glue. Just making sure I'm still kind of where I want to be. That looks pretty good. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a couple little ideas. That's might be a little bit weird. I want to have some texture like this to be up and this be down, so I'm going to just put some glue on there and maybe here, but I have a pop dot here, so I'm gonna stick those down, have the pop dot giving a little texture, a little, not so much texture, what's the word, dimension, I guess is what I'm looking for. Oh, you know what, this little guy has some pink on his beak from cutting that piece, and then our little lady here, it's kind of like this. I'm just trying to think, do I want this underneath? Like that's fine. So I'm going to put a little glue actually back here. And if I have to hold it down because this is keeping it puffed up. So I'm going to hold these guys down and I'll be right back. Okay guys. So there's our sweet card. I think this is really sweet just like this. Again, I mean that onesie with the string that would make like a beautiful slimline, I think that's really fun. Lots of ways to play with it. Again, different sentiments for different occasions if you're giving or receiving or however. So thanks for watching guys. Thank you so much MyDiamondPress for sending these items for review. Love it. The store, it's just classic. I love it. Alright guys, I'll have some images for you. I'll have the links in the description box and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.